What's going on, guys? Tommy back here with Talk Sports wearing shorts. Back here again, Tommy's Football Reviews. You know the deal. We are back after the Premier League final day. Oh, what a massive, massive day that was. Jesus Christ, my heart is still pumping. I got excited there for a little bit, guys. I got excited. Obviously, you know who my allegiances are for with Liverpool. That was interesting, to say the least. So I just want to break this down. I want to talk about it. Let's break it down in this video. Let's go right through the day. I want to talk about the relegation. I want to talk about the top four spots, the Europa League spots, and obviously the title race. And talk about Manchester City obviously winning the Premier League this year. Break it down. Talk about the ups, the lows of the day. And let's get into it. So the Premier League final day. What a monumental day. A fucking crazy day. I can't believe how crazy this day was. Results were fucking all over the place. Performances were all over the place. And when people say, oh, the final day is just, you know, some teams are on the beach, some teams don't turn up. They don't give a crap about the final day. They're just there to make up the numbers. How wrong could you be? Absolutely crazy. So just off the top of my head, I think the biggest results, Brighton beating West Ham, I think that's a big one. Man United losing, big one. Obviously the game, Manchester City, Aston Villa, the way that turned out was enormous. Even the Liverpool Wolves game was enormous. And then Leeds surviving, Burnley going down, just absolute mayhem from bottom to the top. From the start to the finish, mayhem all over. So I want to break this down. I want to talk about the entire day. I want to talk about from the relegation all the way up to the premiership title, rather. I want to talk about it all. So I'm going to start with the relegation. I'm going to start with the three teams going down, Norwich, Watford, and Burnley. Burnley have been relegated finally. Fucking finally now. Sorry if you're a Burnley fan. You're not going to want to hear that. But it's been on the cusp for a couple of years now. They've always somehow survived. But this year, it's just all caved in for Burnley. They got rid of Sean Dyche, and I think from there, everybody kind of knew that they weren't going to survive. He was kind of the glue that held that club together. They've never really been a fantastic club. They've never really played fantastic football. It's kind of long ball, route one stuff. That's Burnley's style. And it just, eventually, it's come crumbling down. They unfortunately have gone down. Chris Wood was probably the start of that demise, I believe. You get rid of your leading goal scorer when you're in a fucking relegation battle to another relegation rival in Newcastle. Now, obviously, Newcastle didn't end up being a relegation battler in the end, but they got rid of their best striker, which was a little bit crazy at the time. So Burnley have finally gone down. Now, this is, I think, monumentous for Burnley because they're going to lose Tarkowski and Ben Mee on free transfers, right? At the end of this year. They're going to be gone. So that's two players you're not going to get any money for that you could have. Then they've got a 60 million debt. They borrowed 60 million for something. Don't quote me. I'm not in the ins and outs of Burnley. I don't really know. I just know that they are in large amounts of debt in terms of money that they borrowed. So they owe money in that sense. And then they're going to lose money, obviously, leaving the Premiership. You lose your money in the sponsorship deals. You're going to lose some players. There's a lot on the line here for Burnley. This could be a spiral. We've seen this with a lot of clubs in recent seasons in the past. If you know, most specifically in my head, I think the likes of Sunderland, obviously they were in a dire situation, a bit worse than what Burnley was, but I think of Sunderland, I think of Bolton, I even think of Wigan. Wigan dropped all the way down to League One after they fell out of the Premiership. They got relegated straight away. Even Hull dropped down to League One. So it's going to be a slippery slope for Burnley, and they've got a really, really tough task now to try get themselves back in the Premiership or even just survive. They don't even have a full manager yet, a full-time manager. They're still a caretaker, so you've got to decide there. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting for Burnley. It's going to be a tough road. So unfortunately for them, they're out of the Premiership, but look, the time was probably coming. So on the flip side, you look at Leeds. Leeds got the job done against Brentford. They got the victory. For a large part of the season, I thought Leeds were done. I thought Leeds were going to be gone. I just thought their time was up under Bielsa. They got found out in the end. They didn't really have a plan B. They kind of only played one style, and if you could manage that, you were going to beat Leeds. Now, obviously, under Jesse Marsch, they look a bit better. They've got a little bit about them, but just still, they weren't picking up results. And I thought that they were going to go down. I actually thought Burnley were going to beat Newcastle, but that didn't fucking happen. So Leeds get the victory. They stay up in another year in the Premiership, so that's good for them. I'm not particularly a massive Leeds fan, but, you know, good on Leeds for staying up, and obviously you get all that money for staying in the Premiership. And they're definitely not going to lose Rafinha now. Or, well, they might, but it might be a little bit harder now to lose Rafinha. If they got dropped, he would have been gone in instant. So that's the relegation side over. So those three teams gone: Watford, Norwich, Burnley. Sayonara, adios, thanks for coming. See you on the flip side, or maybe never see you again. So now I want to jump into the Europa League spots. Now this was interesting for me because the Europa League, the Conference League rather, was up for grabs for Man United and West Ham in terms of the way the results were. So if West Ham had a won and Man United lost, then Man United would have been in the Conference League. Cristiano Ronaldo would have been playing in the Conference League. Say that twice. You can't believe that. But it didn't eventuate for West Ham. They didn't get it done. They bottled it. They dropped the ball against Brighton. Now, Brighton aren't a bad side. Brighton are a good team. There's no shame to losing to Brighton. But Brighton had nothing to play for. West Ham had everything to play for, and they didn't get it done. So that says everything I need to know about West Ham. I think they're still a little bit out of reach. They obviously went pretty far in the Europa League this year. Obviously, we know they got to the semi-final and fell short. But obviously, that club still has a little bit of work in progress, and obviously the thing with Declan Rice, is he going to stay, is he going to go? I've seen now reports that he's willing to stay one more year, which kind of makes no sense to me, because if you're going to stay one more year and you're in the Conference League, like, why? They're probably not going to make top four next year. I don't know, that's a weird one. But we'll see how that eventuates. But it's a drop ball from West Ham. They really had the opportunity there, because I'm going to say this right now, and if you don't agree with me, then you're a fool. But I think everybody could have seen that Man United were going to lose to Crystal Palace. I could see that a mile away. So Man U drop points, and they still somehow make the Europa League. Crazy for Man United. It's obviously, they are not the giant they used to be. Playing Europa League football, Cristiano Ronaldo playing on Thursday nights. It's very weird and strange times at that club. Obviously, they've got Ten Hag now, so he's going to bring new lease of life into the club. He's going to get his own style, which let's hope he does. And obviously get some new players in. He's going to have to get rid of a lot of fucking players, a lot of dead wood, and try to figure it out. It's a massive fucking job at Man United, massive. But playing in Europa League every Thursday and then playing your games on a Sunday, that's going to be tough. There's long amounts of travel there, and to try and make a consistent push in the league at the same time, going to be really tough for him. So he's got a tough job. But somehow Man United don't drop out of the Europa League. They are still in there. West Ham in the Conference League. So that is very interesting. The other team joining them in the Europa League is Arsenal. Now, no crazy magic, no Spurs bottling the final day, no bottle Spurs anymore. Under Antonio Conte, they're a different beast. Now, I called it when they appointed Conte, and it's happened, it's eventuated. I think anyone with a footballing brain, or anyone that's watched football for a long time or has watched Antonio Conte, you would understand that this guy is a winner. He's elite, and if he is backed by Tottenham, this guy will do crazy things for the club. So they end up finishing top four. Arsenal finished in the Europa League spot. And for Arsenal, it's a bit of a what-if scenario. You know, they had everything just right at the fingertips. They had all those games in hand. They couldn't get it done. They couldn't see it out. And they end up bottling the top four and finish fifth. Now, look, it's not a bad result. If you look at their squad, you probably say, yeah, that's probably fair. Like, their team, yeah, I don't think they're a top four side if you look at their squad on paper. But I think where Arsenal fans will feel that they're a little bit upset is that it was all right there for the taking. They kind of overachieved a little bit this year with their young stars, and ultimately they've fallen short. So that's going to be a bit of the heartbreak, that they were right there and all they had to do was just see it out, and they dropped it. Spurs have stolen it from them. Spurs put a really good consistent performance to the end of the year. They didn't really drop hardly any games. I can't remember the last time Tottenham have actually lost a game. They put a great performance in against Liverpool away from home. So Spurs deserve what they get. Fantastic attacking quartet they got as well. Obviously, Heung-min Son, top goal scorer, joined with Mohamed Salah on 23 goals. So fantastic season for him. He's on fire. So Spurs going into the Champions League next year under Antonio Conte. Bit of investment. I think they could be dangerous. So good year for Spurs. Arsenal, you still got a little bit of work to do. Now, on to the massive, massive result. Manchester City end up being the Premier League champions 2022, 4 Premier League titles in 5 years. Say what you will, and obviously I'm a massive diehard Liverpool fan, as you guys would know probably already. It hurts, but this team is unbelievable. You have to take your hat off to them. Oil money aside, whatever people love to say, they like to take the piss about it. But this team is unbelievable. I've said it many times on our podcast, and if you haven't watched our podcast, make sure you tune in. The link will be in the description below. That this is the greatest football team I've ever seen in my life. I genuinely believe that. Now, obviously, they don't have the Champions Leagues to back that up. Liverpool have kind of taken that sort of mantra off them. You know, some teams are just good in Europe, some teams aren't. But in terms of in the domestic league, you know, and I've grown up watching Man United in the 90s. I've grown up watching great Liverpool sides, great Chelsea sides, Arsenal sides, all of these teams. This Manchester City side under Pep trumps them all. They are unbelievably good. And the reason why I think they trump them all is we're just going to break it down. 100 points, Centurions. That season alone is fantastic. I think that's the best season ever. And I'm not even going to argue that point. People say Invincibles. Mate, you get 100 points another year, you're the best team. No debate for that. Then they get the second title in this sort of run, if you want to say that. The 98 points against Liverpool in 2018-2019, when Liverpool got 97, Manchester City got 98. So they get 98 points, only 2 less than the season before. Then Liverpool obviously have their crazy year and get 99 points and were obviously the best team in the world then. Manchester City couldn't keep up with them, so they dropped that year, but they still finished with about 83, 84 points or something like that. Still great total. And then last season, they end up winning the league again. And then this season, they win the league 93 points with Liverpool on 92. So 4 out of 5. Unbelievable. The consistency is fantastic. And if you really want to be honest, take that crazy Liverpool year out, that 99-point season, that unbelievable year that Liverpool had where they were just untouchable. You take that year out, City have won 5 in a row. Like, that is fucking incredible. So you just got to look at it like that. And they're adding Erling Haaland to the side as well. Like, you cannot compete. And when people talk about Liverpool and City, the disrespect Liverpool get, because people say, oh, well, you know, they didn't win this and they're such a good side, but they've only won 1 league title in 4 years. Yeah, because they're competing against the greatest side that's ever fucking lived. Like, if you get 92 points and 97 points and don't win the league, what the fuck is that? What more can you do? Honestly, what more can you do? Liverpool are competing with limited resources, let's be honest. They don't have the financial power as Manchester City, and Klopp has to assemble a side in his budget, and he always overperforms than what the side looks like. A lot of people this year had Liverpool in 4th spot. People had Man United challenging for the title, Chelsea to win the title. Nobody picked Liverpool. Everybody had Liverpool in 3rd or 4th. They always overperform. I don't know when it's going to be that people are going to back Liverpool. I just don't. Nobody gives us the kudos that we deserve. Everybody always writes this team off, but they always overperform. And I think it's credit to Klopp that he's even this close to Manchester City, because this Manchester City team is up here. They are so far above the rest of everybody else. And just to compete with them and to take it to the final day is unbelievable. Yeah, speaking of the final day, I gotta admit, I thought it was going to be our day. I did. I thought we were going to fucking do it. I couldn't believe it. When Coutinho put Aston Villa up 2-0, and I'm watching the Liverpool game, and the crowd's going crazy, and I'm standing here thinking, I can't believe it. We're going to do it. This is unbelievable. Gerrard's done it. He has done it. Coutinho's done it. I can't believe it. I knew that Liverpool would score eventually in that Wolves game, but what ended up happening is in the 6-minute period, Manchester City just got the scruff of the neck, and they said, you know what? We're going to win this title. Sorry, thanks for coming. Yeah, you got a 2-goal lead, but we've got this from here. We've done this before. 2012 all over again. We got this. 3 goals in 6 minutes. Now, if Liverpool had scored before Manchester City scored, then maybe the crowd would have got anxious and maybe it would have flowed onto the pitch. I don't know. That's if buts and maybes. I don't know if that really would have happened. The talent on that Manchester City side is too good that it probably never would have happened anyway. Look, you got to call it what it is. Great effort from Aston Villa. Great effort from Gerrard to try stop it. You got to take your hat off to him. It's Aston Villa. They're at 15th, 14th this year, and to expect Gerrard to do Liverpool favour was a monumental task. But he almost did it. Unbelievable challenge. He can hold his head up high. He did everything he could. Obviously, Liverpool won on the final day. It didn't really matter in the end. So it's a little bit bittersweet, but congratulations, like I said, to Manchester City. They are the best team, I feel, in the world, obviously, without the Champions League aside. It's kind of just how it goes sometimes. Sometimes in Europe, you just don't have that luck. But this team is by far the best side I've ever seen in my life. It really is, guys. I'm going to argue that tooth and nail to the end of time. And just one final thing. Mohamed Salah, 23 goals, 13 assists. He gets the top goal scorer and he gets the top playmaker of the year. Alisson and Edison, they share the Golden Glove, 20 clean sheets for both of them. So Liverpool, in terms of individual awards, have had a lot. So they've done very well there. I can't believe Mohamed Salah scored the Golden Boot again and he's top assist maker, but he's not Player of the Year. If anyone can please genuinely explain that to me, I have no fucking idea how that works. But anyway, there's a Manchester City bias a little bit there. Kevin De Bruyne didn't even play a whole fucking season, but he still got it. I'm trying not to be bitter about this, guys, but sometimes it's hard. But anyway, rounding out the season, 2022, it's over, it's done. It's been a crazy year. Manchester City champions again. Let me know what you think, guys. Let me know what you thought about the entire season. Give it a like, give it a comment, give it a subscribe. Let me know what you thought. Let me know who you support, whether or not your team finished above expectations and finished below, whether or not you guys had a good season. Let me know all that in the comments below. I want to know who you support and get involved, get in touch. As usual, guys, make sure you follow the socials, the Instagram, the Twitch, the podcast on Spotify. Make sure you're following that because that is uploaded on the weekly. We've been a bit slow lately. Shit's been happening. Babies have been sick in the family, so we can't always do it. Shit gets a bit hard. But regardless, guys, all the links are in the description down below, so make sure you check that out. And as usual, I will see you on the next one, but it's going to be a little while before I do a Premier League fucking talk again. So it'll be a couple of months before we do that. We're going to probably talk about Champions League at the end of this week, and then obviously we're going to talk about the fucking World Cup. So make sure you're subscribed, keep in touch, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.